What's up, peeps? What it do? Hey, yo, hey. Let's talk about fear again. Because one thing about fear is it is going to destroy every part of your creation unless you eliminate it. And it's so debilitating that it creeps in and you really aren't aware of it. So unbeknownst to you, you're creating scenarios in your mind that haven't even transpired in reality. And because you've done so, you've now created a rough area for the situation or relationship that you're in. What I mean by that is, take a moment to think about your current relationship state. If you're in a place where every time you turn around, you guys are at a place where you're arguing, there never seems to be any understanding. It's like no one can meet any type of compromise, and it's just not going anywhere. You're stagnant. What typically happens in that case is someone, it could be either the girl, the boy, or the girl, boy. I don't care nowadays. Y'all do what you want to do with who you love. But the other person, feels some type of way that is unaware to the other. Say, for instance, you have a female in a situation, and in the back of her mind, she's been through endless relationships. So in her attempt to open up, she's reserved because not one, not 2 times, 3 times, or 4 times, all 5 relationships that she's been in, she's been cheated on. She's healed. She's done all of that. Healing is continual. So don't get the image in your head that you're going to heal one thing and you're going to consider yourself healed and everything is going to be perfect, peachy cream. No, baby, it don't work that way. You're going to always heal. Every single day is healing. Even when you think you're healed, heal some more. But anyway, because 9 times out of 10, people don't even realize they got to heal until well into adulthood. I said that before. At first, you guys were calling it midlife crisis when people were actually identifying with themselves that they didn't know. They were identifying with realities that didn't meet what they were portraying. Midlife crisis. Now you're forced to deal with who you really are on the inside. And you don't know how to do that. So you're acting out all types of ways. And the world wanted to call it the midlife crisis. So people don't really realize they have shit to change until they're in the middle of their life. Which is why you'll meet a healed person that still has healing to do, because healing is continual. Now back to what I was saying. She's in these situations and then things start to pop up because we're human, boo. They are going to continue to pop up. It's what is it? Applied knowledge. They pop up, but you have an opportunity to apply the knowledge that you obtained. You get wiser. But anyway, still doesn't eliminate the pain. So let me move on with what I'm trying to say. So she's in these situations and she realized that something starts to look a little familiar. So subconsciously, she's reserved. She's fearful of being cheated on. She's given these opportunities. She's implemented these new ways of thinking, but things still, for some reason, still panning out to be what they are. She don't present them to the person that she's with. She just goes about the relationship with these fears and doubts in the back of her mind. Her actions are actually going to tie with her subconscious. So little does she know, she's acting in a state of fear. The person that she's with picks up on it. So even if they aren't being mischievous, if they aren't cheating, if they aren't, being disrespectful to your character, they feel some type of reservations coming from you. What the old saying is that are so twisted and toxic that people like to stick on. Well, if you think I'm doing it, then you must be doing it. And boom, there goes the problem to the situation. Now you got 2 problems. You see how complicated that can get? And I haven't even dug into what homie may be feeling over there on his end. Why do we need to? It's already chaos. Because of the little teeny voices in your head that go undealt with. And they start to become your reality. So the only thing that we can do to counteract that is to be able to have the freedom to speak on what it is you're feeling. You don't fear it, you bring it up so you can rear it. Ain't that what they call it when you're rearing a child? You're taking control over it and you're making it, productive or whatever. Yeah. You're learning how to exist in the meantime. That's why it's important to allow people the space to be. Because the moment that you're feeling free, you're going to be able to express comfortably what it is that your reservations are. And then the person that you're expressing them to can address it, and you guys can move on from that and make it do what it do. Yeah, but until we address these fears, you're not going to get anywhere. Let's make it do what it do. Let's get on one accord and heal correctly.